So what exactly is the importance of the move over law? Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you are having a fantastic start of your weekend so far. I recently had an Illinois state trooper reach out to me and requested I do a video on Scott's Law. What exactly is Scott's Law? It's basically the move over law for the state of Illinois. There's been several recent events of Illinois state troopers getting struck on the side of the road. But this isn't just an issue with Illinois. This is a national issue that's happening. And the frustrating part about this is that it can be completely avoided. So what exactly is the move over law? Every state that has this law in effect, to my knowledge, which is the majority of the states in the United States, they all have different verbiage, but they all basically say the same thing. If you see flashing lights on the right side of the road, move your ass to the left lane. If you see flashing lights in the left side of the road, move your ass to the right lane. And even though this is such a simple concept, it never fails. As soon as I get out with a broken down motorist, some dumbass comes flying past me and my pants move because they're hauling ass 3 feet away from me. So as an officer or even as a citizen, how do you protect yourself? Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do when you have a multi-ton weapon flying toward you at 60 miles an hour, but there are a few things you can do to try to lessen the damage, if you will. If you pay attention to the way that police officers park behind people, whether it's a broken down motorist or maybe it's a traffic stop, you'll notice that they do a couple of certain moves. The first move they do is they pull in at an angle, and it's usually canted off to the left a little bit. And the second move you'll see them do is they move their wheel all the way to the left. And this actually serves two purposes. The first purpose, let's say on a traffic stop for instance, or really anytime you get out with somebody, you have now created cover for yourself. So should that traffic stop go bad, somebody gets out with a gun, you now have an engine block of solid metal to provide you at least a little bit of cover to get behind. The other purpose this serves falls into the move over law category, and that is people running into the back of your car. Now think about it, if you have somebody run into the back of your car at say 60 miles an hour, do you really want your wheels turned directly toward where you just walked to? No, absolutely not. So when that impact happens, if your wheels are turned to the left, at least some of the deflection from the energy will go off to the left instead of hitting you. That's at least the concept behind it. One time I actually had a lieutenant on shift that was on a traffic stop. He saw somebody that was not moving over. Wasn't just not moving over, but was starting to come towards him. So he literally jumped up on the side of this truck that he pulled over and got hit in the side of the leg by the mirror on this vehicle. This mirror hit him so hard that he had a bruise from the top of his hip all the way down to his kneecap the next day. Needless to say, this lieutenant hobbled his ass back to his car. He pulled this driver over and it turned out they were DUI, so they went to jail for the move over law and for DUI. But had he not jumped up on that truck, he probably wouldn't be here today. I remember being in the traffic division from 2010 to about 2012, and we were specifically given instructions to go out and enforce the move over law. Now, I don't know about other states, but in Georgia at the time, this is years ago, the ticket for a move over violation was $650 plus 6 points on your license. Now in Georgia, a normal driver is only allotted 12, so getting one ticket ate up half your allotted points on your license before it got suspended. So how exactly did we catch move over violators? Well, it was simple. Me and my partner would start on one side of the city, and he would catch somebody for speeding, whether it be by radar or laser. And as soon as he pulled them over, I would usually pull in about 1/8 of a mile behind him, and I would watch the traffic that was going by him. Now I believe in Georgia, the move over law was enacted in 2006, I think it was. So by now, like 4 or 5 years had passed, there had been publications. It was not some new law that had just come out. It had been out for a while. So as soon as I would see somebody come flying past him on his traffic stop, I would pull that person over and cite them. Well, as I'm writing the citation, he was usually finishing up with his, and he would come and watch me. So we would take turns doing this, and we called it playing leapfrog. And we would play leapfrog down the highway, writing move over tickets. We would go all the way to the end of the city and all the way back several times in a shift. There were days that we would come back with dozens of move over tickets. Now I know some of you are going to be saying you guys were just doing this for revenue. We never got upgraded cars or commissions or bonuses. We never saw a dime of this money. This was never given back to the traffic division for new equipment. We were doing this for safety. We never got a benefit of this funding. And depending on which state you live in, the move over law does not necessarily just apply to first responder vehicles on the side of the road. At least in Georgia, it also applies to like Georgia Power or water utility. Any vehicle that's doing maintenance or has a traffic stop or firefighter, any vehicle with flashing lights on the side of the road, you need to move over for. Utility vehicles, first responder vehicles. And in states like Illinois, where there's Scott's Law, this now involves vehicles with their hazard lights on. So if you see a vehicle just with their yellow flashing lights on, you need to move over. And this should be common sense and good practice anyway, but at least now it's in black and white text for people to read for themselves. Before I end this video, I know I'm going to get one question, and that question is probably going to be, what am I supposed to do if there is a bunch of traffic in the opposite lane and I'm not able to move over? And that's a very legitimate question to be asking. And the answer to that is slow down. Slow down to a very reasonable speed. In Georgia, there is no particular number that you're supposed to slow down to, but if I visually see somebody slow down to about 25 or 30 miles an hour to where they're being cautious when they pass me, they're not going to get a ticket for that, okay? As long as you make a reasonable effort to ensure the safety of whoever's on the side of the road, nobody's going to mess with you, okay? Don't freak out, don't cause an accident trying to get into the other lane if it's, packed with people, but make a reasonable effort to show some sort of safety towards the people that are on the side of the road, no matter who they are. So the bottom line of this video, if you are able to move over, move over. If you are not able to move over, slow down, show caution, be careful. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it very much. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. If you have not already, make sure to sign up at patreon.com/officer401. I'm going to be giving you guys a bunch of sneak peeks here soon. You guys already know, those of you that are Patreon, you already know the big secret of what's going on right now. But either way guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys very, very soon.